do it like we do it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Friday. Guys, this is one of my favorite days because I get to go live with all of you and also one of my favorite co-collaborators, Kim from Bravo Breaking News. Obviously, it's like my new thing saying like cat's out of the bag. Well, it is again, and I am hosting my birthday with two of my favorite Bravo celebrities on July 6th on a Saturday at Lamar's on King Street in Charleston. So I would love for you guys to come. We're gonna have more details. We're gonna put together a flyer. I wanted to come on and say who I'm co-hosting it with, and Jason's like, "You're like the person who gives somebody a present for Christmas and tells them what it is before they unwrap it." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'll reserve that information." But we will have so much fun. So if you guys are around Charleston or if you're close, please come play with us. We will have the best night. And I would love to spend my birthday with all of you. Now, with that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the live chat. Let us know where you're at. Smash the like button. Show some love. If you're not subscribed to Up and Adam Channel 1, make sure you do that too. And let's welcome Kim. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Happy Friday and happy early birthday, Adam.
Thank you. I'm actually really, like we just got here, so to be able to like kind of have fun and celebrate with everybody. I haven't been doing live shows. I kind of took a hiatus from that a little bit. And this is just when we went to London for our mom's trip, Christmas mom's trip, we just put together, instead of like a live show, like a meetup with everybody. It was so much fun. We met so many amazing people, and that's what I want this to be. I just want it to be a night where everybody comes and celebrates, has fun. Like if it doesn't even have to be celebrating my birthday, just celebrate that it's Saturday and you get away from your kids for 2 seconds.
I know. I feel like I may need to fly in, Adam. This is like the event of the year.
I don't know about that, but there is no BravoCon, so we do have to improvise. And I see where they said Jason's is first, though, June 23rd, Sunday Fun Day. Trust me, guys, I have Jason's birthday under wraps already, and it's going to be a good one. So fear not. Fear not. But love to see you, Kim. When is your birthday?
My birthday is April 18th, so it has already passed.
I'm happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thanks. We did all the things. We celebrated. So yeah, now we can look forward to yours and Jason's.
Hey, we'll have fun. And then Vicky Harnish said, "Are you going, Kim?" I think that this is like a last minute for Kim.
I'd love to. But I do live literally on the opposite side of the country. I'm in Huntington Beach, California. So that's literally going from coast to coast. But maybe next time, Adam, maybe we can plan something in the future.
Absolutely. All right, Kim. Well, last time I saw you, we had a great talk. It was a good time. And then I ended up doing an interview with Tom Sandoval's girlfriend.
Yes, you did, Adam. That was something. I was there. I was live to witness it, and it was something. And
Yeah.
we've heard it. It hasn't died down since then either.
No. Actually, I keep on calling it. I called and I cleared this up on my Hot Messy on Monday. I called it a live interview, but even when I started the conversation, I prefaced it as a conversation because it was more so for them to address the things that were being said as opposed to me trying to get to know them for the audience. So it really wasn't like an interview. It was more so like, again, that conversation, which I saw all of the comments, you guys. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me that was intrigued because I wanted to hear her talk. I wanted to hear Victoria. I've seen Victoria. We've all seen her. But I just wanted to kind of like put a voice to a face. So that alone was enough to sell me on it because I'm like, I want to hear what you got to say, girl. Let's talk about it. Then, of course, came out. There were some things like Billie Lee allegedly wanting Tom Sandoval's sperm for a baby. Billie Lee allegedly accusing Kyle Chan of wanting to put Tom Sandoval in a subdued state in order to take advantage. There were a few things. And I was like, ah. And now I saw where Billie and her co-host went on. And they're like, she said, Tom Sandoval has cheated multiple times. He records Victoria when they fight because he doesn't trust it. He doesn't want her to blow up like Ariana did. And also, he's only going to be dating supermodels moving forward. I'm like, what is going on at this point? Right?
Yes, I don't know. I honestly cannot keep track of every detail of this feud, Adam, but I'm living for it. Hey, you are a journalist. You are doing your job by doing investigative journalism.
I don't
You
know if I would call this investigative journalism though. Like I know it got ripped, but I'm like, I think you guys are thinking that not you, but I think that some of the audience members and people who critiqued it thought I took it a lot more serious than what I did, you know?
Well, I mean, there are some serious allegations coming out. You were getting the other side. I think that that's fair. You know, people can choose to believe whatever they want, but these are like serious accusations being thrown out, like now, like by both sides. So I don't know, you know, Tom or somebody that has Tom's phone while he's in the Trader's Castle posted that Instagram story being like, you know, Billy's making up all these lies for clout. Like, you know, because she's about to go on tour, which is like kind of what we said, Adam. So I don't know. And he's going to come out and clear the air as soon as he can. Still haven't heard anything. What format he's going to do that in, I don't know. But oh, God, yeah, this is getting like really messy. And these accusations are very deep and very dark. And I think people need to be careful about, you know, saying these things, especially if they aren't true.
Well, and I think that's what Kyle Chan said too when we were live. He did say this is something like Kyle Chan is not a public figure in the sense that when you are a public figure, like for Kim and I right now to be on here and claim to be YouTubers or podcasters, technically, if you end up going to court, you will be looked at as a public figure. And because of that, and I don't know if this applies to him, but because of that, it's really hard to get like a defamation case or anything. It's legitimately you're just throwing tons of money away to win something, and then you have to open a new case in order to try to collect that money from the other people. It's a nightmare. But Kyle, from my understanding, I'm sure that he can afford to do that. And I think that he gave a pretty good sort of like warning of I could legally pursue you because anybody can legally pursue anyone. This is my warning. And I was like, oh, Billy, take the warning because he's got a lot more money than the rest of us that I know of.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, Jersey was getting dark with all the lawsuits and the legal issues, and now like it's kind of spreading into Vanderpump Rules. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I like I said, these are very deep, dark accusations, and not why I watch Bravo. I want lighthearted. I want petty. This is getting a little dark for me, Adam, but yeah, I don't know. I think that people need to be really, really careful about what they say here.
I do too. I do too. And I did like to, and I've said this multiple times because I want people to understand I don't have a dog in this fight. I am not friends with any of them. I am acquaintances. I am an acquaintance to them in passing. I don't honestly know who's telling the truth, but what I do, what something in my past, something that like sort of alarms me is someone who, and I think that we've all experienced it, someone who claims to operate as a friend in your life, someone who is there for you to lean on to support you, but then all of a sudden something goes wrong and they're hurting. They're going through a lot of pain. And in that pain, they are willing to just completely take your ass and throw you right under the bus. Like that to me is the most alarming thing. And nothing against Billy. To me, someone like that, there is no space in my life for because that's scary. It's terrifying because usually a friend, they see like the those moments for you where you're at your lowest and your highest. They're there to celebrate and also pick you back up. That's what a friend is. So when they weaponize those low moments, it's like, I don't want you around me.
No, totally. And that's the way I kind of perceived it at the beginning too. You know, this is somebody who got upset. Maybe Tom is in a relationship now, was spending less time with her, so has chosen to kind of rebel against him. But I don't know. It's going far beyond that now to the point where like it's like, all right, I don't know about this.
Do you think that Tom Sandoval will like marinate on this and then by the time he gets out be like, you know what, I don't want to give it any more clout? I've
Well,
never used that word, guys.
I think that's probably the right move, like if you keep talking about it, you're fueling the fire. There's going to be rebuttals. It doesn't seem like Billie Lee is going to stop talking anytime soon. She wants those, podcast audience. She wants people to tune in and listen to see what she has to say. So, yeah, I think the best thing for them to do is just ignore, like it's like sometimes people like this, like want people to combat them and stuff like that. So they can keep things going. But if you just kind of stay quiet, it will fizzle out.
Right. It's almost like making content out of the content creator and not actually out of like what the yeah, I get what you're saying. Man. Okay. So guys, this is a shitstorm and we will sit back. I have gracefully bowed out. I'm good on it.
You did your part.
I did my part. I was a contributing factor in the sense that I allowed us in the Adams family. I just gave the platform, but now we are done. But as things come out, if there are more serious allegations, and I don't know, who knows if they're sitting on like a golden bullet, I don't know. But if there are more serious allegations, of course we'll end up talking about them, Kim. But in the
Oh, of
meantime, like
course.
it's definitely not over. It's not over.
No, it's not over. There are a lot of things being flung on both sides towards each other. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But it's like right now the main Vanderpump Rules cast members are kind of like sitting back and just taking their well-deserved break, while the adjacent cast members are now starting to feud. So I don't know what this means. You think maybe everybody is a little bit vying for their piece on next season if there's some sort of shakeup or something like that? I don't know.
Could be. It could be. All right. Well, I didn't bring you on to be like gloom and doom. You know what I mean?
I
So
know.
I want to talk about something that's going to make you happy.
Let's lift this up. Oh my gosh, guys.
Give it to me, Kim, because I know you're about to sing all the praises and just get every. Did you see I reposted your thing and I
Uh,
circled your name because I was like, I forgot what you put at the top of it, but I was like, yes,
I
that
put
is
my
exactly.
jaw is on the floor, and that
Yeah.
is literally what happened when I opened my phone and I saw her post this photo. Like, I don't know. People think I'm like, I bow down to Ariana. And in this case, I will say, yes, I am not ashamed to say that she looks the best. I mean, talk about revenge dress. This is pure gold goddess, better than good as gold, great as gold. I mean, just everything. She killed it. Have you been watching Love Island, Adam? I have to know.
I've been watching like the little tidbits in it. I've never
Okay.
been a Love Island watcher, but with her, I've just been like, I like to see like the little moments with Ariana. And I do have to say too, as far as like a host, I don't think, and this is please in the live chat, do not rip me a new one. I think on reality TV, we see a very unhappy version of Ariana. And I think we have for years of her dealing with a lot of pain and things that shows like this are designed to bring out of you to talk about. And then I think seeing her on Dancing with the Stars, where it's all about being in the moment, Chicago, her dream, and then hosting this show, and you see how happy. I'm like, girl, you can't go back. Do not go back to Vanderpump Rules. This is it. Like, just continue down. Don't let that show is now an anchor tied to your foot and bringing you to the bottom of the ocean. Just you're swimming.
I had that same thought, Adam. Like after seeing her, I'm just like, how can she go back to this? Like I'm sorry, she's a little bit above it. I know everybody says, oh, she thinks she's better than us, da 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 da. I don't really think that she thinks that, but her career has skyrocketed to a point where she is no longer just a reality TV star. She is I don't know, she's a professional. She's basically an actress, a celebrity at this point. She's a
She
Broadway
is a
star.
celebrity at this point.
Yeah, she is no longer just a reality star. So I think that she's killing it. Guys, I never watched Love Island before ever, but I am 2 episodes in and I am hooked. I am in it. I will watch the rest of this season even though it is on 5 nights a week. How does anybody have time for that? I don't know, but I'm going to make time because I want to see Ariana and I'm also invested in this show. And I hope that she continues this hosting gig. This is going to be huge for her, Adam. And I agree. I'm not sure she really needs Vanderpump Rules at this point. Though I do think that Pump Rules will be good for something about her to keep that momentum going. If they film at the sandwich shop, I'm sure Katie will film there if she's still on the show. But just to keep the eyes on the sandwich shop and kind of get a little behind the scenes look into what's going on there. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a little nervous for Vanderpump Rules right now, even though I think that they'll be coming back. Did you see the back and forth with Alex Baskin and Sheena?
I did. Yes, a little bit, but fill me in on exactly what was said.
Well, she pretty much said that mid-season that Alex Baskin and the producers called a meeting to let them know, like, as of right now, the way that you guys are operating is very different than how you guys operated the last 10 seasons, which ultimately is what made the show a huge success. Now you guys are kind of, we get it. This is different territory, but you're maneuvering it in a way that's not going to land with the audience. And we're just here to tell you the direction that it's going in as of right now is not good. The show, this could be the nail in the coffin for the show. Well, Sheena went on, and I don't know verbatim, guys, and I could have played the clip, but she went on her podcast and she said that essentially Alex Baskin gave the cast this, like, you guys better show up or you're going to get fired kind of ultimatum. Well, then Alex came back and was like, that's very dramatic. That's not what I said. And went back sort of against what she said. And I'm like, that would be the last person that I would F with if I was counting on that paycheck. I would not say shit about Alex, but I wouldn't even talk about those meetings. I wouldn't, you would never know that those meetings happen. And we wouldn't have known if it wasn't for Sheena. And I love Sheena, but Sheena, this one was a flop because now they're looking at you like, you don't know that you can't talk about that? It's kind of like, it's almost like breaking the fourth wall, but it's not, but it could be,
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of a game of telephone too. Like maybe they did have some sort of conversation like, hey guys, like we'd really love to get a conversation between Ariana and Tom on camera. Can you guys kind of maybe try to facilitate that or something like that? I'm sure something like that was said. Producers, that's their job to kind of, talk to the cast members, feel out what's going on, maybe push them in a direction to do something specific. But I think that Sheena, like what she said, isn't necessarily what was told to her. I think maybe she's blowing it a little bit out of proportion. So I don't know. I feel like I agree with you. Don't mess with, who's in charge of your show, especially when there's people potentially on the chopping block for next season. It's, just, I would play it safe at this point and not call them out on your podcast every week.
Yeah, I'm like, man, especially I saw and I caught the shade, guys. Then I'm like Fruit Ninja. Okay. Like as the watermelons are coming down, I hit them. And I cut that shit open and I catch everything. I'm good. I like a good shade assassin, especially if you can deliver it. Kristen Doty on her podcast said, I'm happy that Alex Baskin said that we're not taking any more Vanderpump Rules people and our cast is complete. It's not my fault that you bought 2 houses.
I loved that.
But it's not an insult. You bought 2 houses. And then Sheena came back and she's like, I just feel really sad looking at my cast and seeing them in their apartments. It's like, I feel sad. And I'm like, okay, both of you, which I really like them both. I'm like, both of you petty betties are like, now we see what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like you're kind of going back and forth. But at the end of the day, you have that $3 million home. And I know this, guys, because that's our passion. Jason and I's passion is real estate. You have that home. Unless you bought that outright, you have a lot of debt. And that debt comes with a big ass bill. And that big ass bill needs a good ass job in order to pay that big ass bill, or else that debt you won't have to worry about because it's going to be taken away from you. And that's a scary thought. Nobody buys a home to lose their home. It's just sometimes, unfortunately, the circumstances, things happen. In this moment, I'm looking like this is a very expensive mortgage for all of you guys. even Lala included. It's a lot of money, not to be in your finances, but it's a lot of money. You guys need this show right now. It's not like you don't have it like that, you know?
I mean, and especially in California, the taxes alone, I mean, it's
Mhm.
so expensive. I thought, I feel like other cast members have bought, like even Ariana, who is the most successful. I think her house was what, like 1.4 million, which is still insane. It's an amazing house in the Hollywood Hills. But for Lala, to buy something over double that? How? I don't know. Is her podcast really doing that well? Or is
I
she really
mean,
selling a lot on Amazon Live? I mean, because
the
that is a lot to pay for.
the thing is too with Ariana's it was like 1.4 1.6 million Hollywood Hills home. I believe it came out that she put about 800,000 down, which means essentially she probably has about a $600,000 to $800,000 mortgage, which is a lot of money. I understand that. But it's a lot more affordable for 5, 6, potentially $7,000 a month for Ariana to be able to pull that off with. She makes more than that on a post, right? But it's a lot more feasible for her to figure out how to offset that cost and pay it than it is like a $20,000 mortgage. That's a lot of money.
I know. Yeah, yeah, I mean, no wonder they were trying so hard to save the show. I mean, yeah, but I don't know, it's kind of tying back to the Summer House reunion last night. Like Lindsay said, like, what happens when we don't have the show anymore? You kind of got to have that backup. You got to have something else. They do have their podcasts, which is good. But like, it just ties back to everything. When you're willing to throw your friends and everything under the bus to like continue to save this show for reasons like financial reasons, we can see right through that.
Well, that and also you have your podcast, yes, but your podcast boom when you're on the show. Kind of
Of
like when I
course.
worked at Sir. When I worked at Sir, we're filming, or when there were no cameras, we were a restaurant. It was whatever, like we would have good nights. We'd have some nights where it was just like everybody go home. And that's what it was. When the show was on, it was like the gates like flooded. And for a podcast, like Sheena, Lala, Jax, and Brittany, when they launched theirs during Sandoval, everybody thrived who was associated because of that momentum from the show and from Sandoval. If you don't have that momentum, you're still going to do okay, but you're probably cutting your podcast income in half.
Totally. That's why you need to branch out. I mean, I said it in the New York Times interview. I pretty much said that, the success of these people's businesses are directly tied to the show, whether they like it or not. It's like Jax's Studio City is getting really terrible reviews right now. And while they're talking about the food being bad and the service being bad, where do you think that's all stemming from? The fact that we hate Jax Taylor. He is, so mean to Brittany. We've watched it play out. So we don't really want his business to succeed because he's an asshole. So, it all ties back to the show and how you're perceived on the show and whether we want to support you or not. So I definitely think there is a direct correlation to that. And I mean, if there's no show, I don't see, I don't know. Their podcasts will still have listeners, don't get me wrong. But that's where I see people that kind of venture out, like Giggly Squad, Paige and Hannah. They don't talk about Bravo whatsoever on their podcast. Paige does not talk about Summer House. They kind of have built this other business for themselves aside from their Bravo fandom. So I
Yeah.
think that these reality stars need to kind of take note and start doing stuff like that in order to keep up their lifestyles that they've built while on the show.
Some of them have done a really good job, and I'm gonna say that too. Like, I don't understand when you're on a reality show and you're not building a business, because then I don't know what you're doing it for unless you just want the fame. But like Craig Conover with his multi-million-dollar sewing business, Bethany Frankel obviously is the GOAT of all of this. Lisa Vanderpump, even Tamra Judge with Vina CBD has done incredibly well. Melissa Gorga with Envy. Like, there is an opportunity, but I don't understand not trying to figure that out while you're doing it, because then why else are you doing it? But
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't always work out like that. We had Give Them La La Beauty, which I'm not really sure where that's at right now.
what about Rena
Um,
Beauty?
oh, I did you hear about how like there was a Dumois blind about Rinna Wines, how she like launched Rinna Wines and then they sold all of like $18 worth of wine, so she had
Ugh,
to shut it down and like shift to focus on Rinna Beauty. So yeah, I guess those businesses don't always work out,
that's
but
true.
I mean, you got to try. You got to try because let's be real, these shows aren't forever. You're not going to be on reality TV forever.
Also, to be fair, that's not a failure. A lot of people look at it like you failed. No, it takes a lot of kahunas over here to launch a business, a product, and try to bring it to fruition. Put yourself out there. And it's like if you guys are, it's like my birthday, right? Like I'm hoping we can fill out a place, but I don't know who would want to come see me. Like you think about it in your head, you get in your head and you're like, I'm hoping I launch a business, but I don't know if people are going to support. You just really don't know, but you're not going to know unless you try. So when something like that doesn't work out, like Rena Wines or whatever, I'm like, you know what? At least you had the goal to even go through with it and do it and execute the plan. If it didn't work out, then it's a wash and you keep it moving.
Agree. Yes,
Yeah,
agree. But as long as you're trying to do something outside of the show and make a name for yourself beyond reality TV, I'm no expert, but just my suggestion, just my 2 cents.
just your suggestion. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take it on over here for a second because I want to talk to you about this. Teresa Giudice, we love the Photoshop. We do. And you look beautiful, and you always do, with or without the Photoshop, with or without the Ozempic, with or without anything. Maybe not with Louie. Maybe you don't. But I don't know. I'm not the one to judge that. It's the 700 people in the room that are probably going to say something, but not me. I'm just here narrating this. Okay. So don't come at me, Louie. Okay. But we heard through the Instagram streets of Bravo fan accounts that there was a recast or a reboot coming and that they were going to go with the core Teresa Giudice, Dolores Catania, Jen Fuda, and Jen Fessler as a friend. That was happening. Then Andy Cohen came out and said, let me just say this really quick. Anything that you're hearing right now is completely false. We have not come up with a plan for this. And if you hear anything over the next 6 months, just chalk it up to not being true because right now we're not having those conversations. But then also, Kim, before you chime in on this, I want to ask you, he did say, and maybe we talked about this last week. We do a lot of videos over here. So I just got to remember and remind myself. He did say the finale and the reunion operated as one after they watched it, but that they were going to do something special in exchange for the reunion, which I didn't know if that would be a secrets revealed or a nostalgic, like the last however many seasons, these are our best moments in 1 hour. I didn't know what that was going to be. So I wanted to ask you about the reboot and what you think the replacement will be.
Okay, so I do have an idea for what I hope the replacement will be, and I need like a New Jersey after show. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Pump Rules and Summer House after shows on Peacock and YouTube, but they are great. They provide so much context into what happened. I would love the New Jersey people, they're all divided. We don't want them all in a room together. So I think the after show would be a great solution to, put Teresa and Jen Aiden in a room and Rachel and Margaret in a room. And they're kind of discussing, kind of what went on behind the scenes and giving us some context to things because those really shed a lot of light about some of the Vanderpump Rules episodes and Summer House episodes. So that would be my vote for, maybe launch that halfway throughout the season, maybe, I don't know, or maybe about the last few episodes, just get us some behind the scenes interviews with the ladies to kind of hear their take on things. So
Yeah,
that's
like
what
an
I would love
extended
to see.
confessional.
Yes, exactly. So I would love to see that. As far as the reboot and recasting, I knew it was too soon for that. I mean, we just heard that there was not going to be a reunion, like last week or the week before. There's no way that they have this all figured out yet. I think it was Radar Online that put it out too. And let's be real, they're not the most like trusted source. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. That was interesting to bring Teresa back and Rachel Fuda back. Like, I don't know. I know that they are the two main people feuding, but I kind of thought that maybe they would choose like one side to go with, because the issue here is that nobody wants to film together. They're not getting along. It's like there's a solid divide in the cast, and bringing back Teresa and Rachel Fuda isn't going to change that. That's not going to solve the issue at hand here. I think they kind of need people who, ties back to they can be friends, but also can start some petty drama and fights and still be in the same room together, without like going after each other with like legal accusations and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like as far as recasting or rebooting, if they keep some of the people, I think they kind of have to be like one side or the other at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think that we can't do the same split cast, and I think that that's going to be a little ridiculous. And again, I have no idea what they're going to end up doing with this cast, which sucks because I really love this cast when they don't draw their lines in the sand. Like I don't even, but I've said this multiple times. I don't think that if you sign the contract and you don't want to be around somebody or you don't want to be forced to speak with them, then I don't think you should sign the contract. And I think that you should just probably walk away because it is a job. It's like if I'm working at McDonald's and I don't want to do the cash register, but somebody's already flipping burgers and that's just like all that's like, I have to do the cash register. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I would lose my job. And I don't get that because in any other setting, professional setting, there's a lot of people that you don't like, but you got to figure it out or else you usually quit or somebody gets fired and then you move on. And for this, it's like, are you guys willing to really throw away all of this money over this? And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's no freaking way that you could be willing to throw away all of this money because Louie Ruelas, just yesterday it came out about the Vinny Villa and him owing wife of the party on Instagram. Shout out. This is not a paid promotion. But wife of the party on Instagram over $300,000 for the Vinny Villa launch party. And she's like, I've tried to collect. He has given me 100 excuses. He has given me tiny little bits of money here and there. I don't know what else to do. And I'm like, that if you had it like that, then you would just pay your bill, right?
Yeah, I mean, Louis' business practices have been sketchy from the beginning. I don't really know what this new company is or does or what his exact involvement is, but oh gosh, this does not surprise me in the least. Like, ever since we met this guy, there have been red flags. I mean, I feel like there's something new every week that we talk about here, Adam. And so the fact that his business can't pay this bill is just another, tick on his list of red flags. It's no surprise to me, Adam. I don't know. And then like all of these other New Jersey people are like working for him, like Gia's boyfriend works for him and all this. Like, what do they do? What is your position? What is this business? I don't know. Somebody please explain it to me because I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm actually pretty impressed that he's been able to fly under the radar with us not knowing what exactly he does for this long. But also, what did not age well, you guys, was at the Vinny Villa premiere, he was doing press and he's like, everybody wants to know what I do. This is exactly what I do. This is what I do. And then months later, it comes out and it's like, you know what you don't do? You didn't pay your bill. And it's like, this did not age well. It did not age well. And it makes me so like, I'm like, man, anybody like, I don't have malice in my heart. There's no hate here. I don't have space for it. It's like, I'm in my own love bubble in my own world. And I really want to see everybody do well. I want to see everyone win. And in this, I was like, what if you have the next TikTok? What if you're about to blow up? Look at you over there, Steve Jobs of Jersey. But then this comes out and I'm like, oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah,
thank God I reserved my opinions.
Yeah, it's not starting off strong, Adam. Yeah, I don't know. And especially somebody with like an Instagram presence, like you got to be careful with who you how you treat people, especially people that have an online audience, because they're going to talk about it and it's going to get out and it's not going to look good. So I don't know. Pay your bills, Louie. That's all I got to say. Pay your bills, and shit like this won't come out. It's as simple
Shit
as
like
that.
this. Kim, Bravo breaking news has spoken. Okay? Sorry, Louie. If you want to find Kim, you can find her in the green room at BravoCon 2025. Anyways, back to it. Now, I want to go over to Andy Cohen of it all. So Leah McSweeney filed a new motion in her lawsuit against Andy Cohen. She said he is now trying to bully her and trying to shut her down and blackball her in the entertainment industry because he is threatened by what she knows based off of what she says, and that also this is him giving a warning through her to the rest of the Bravo talent who may have already filed lawsuits or may be thinking about filing lawsuits, that if you come for me, I'm going to shut you down. And this is my warning. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are the same as when she filed her first lawsuit. I think it's BS. I think it's attention seeking. She's already blackballed in the industry, basically. Who is Leah McSweeney in this world? She is, we don't see anything about her. I mean, I don't think her business, Married to the Mob, is still in existence anymore. I think that she has kind of totally like fallen off of the, I don't know, fallen off the face of the earth, for lack of a better phrase, since RHONJ. I mean, she was kind of on the last season that was like responsible for the demise of the franchise. And then she went on Ultimate Girls Trip, and that was tough to watch. She was not good. So, oh, there it is. Okay, still going.
It's still going. I just wanted to make sure, in case Leah sees this, that we are not saying that you are out of business. We didn't know because we haven't updated ourselves on your website. But yes,
I will say there was a time that I did like her, and I did buy that sheer mesh bucket hat that she wore in the Hampton. I literally have that hat. I own that hat. I bought it from Married to the Mob. So I was once a fan. But I just think
what happened to you? What went so left? The lawsuit?
No, I started to dislike her at the end of Real Housewives of New York, just the way she was coming at people, and I just didn't like the way she was handling herself on the show those last couple seasons. And then Ultimate Girls Trip just totally did it out for me.
She was so annoying on Ultimate Girls Trip.
So annoying. So I just, I stopped liking her back then, and then I don't know. I just think that I'm not really sure she has a case, Adam. I don't know. What do you think?
I want to say two things. I think that there's two cases here that aren't going to come to fruition as far as like, there's not going to be like a monetary gain. I think that John Fuda saying that he's going to sue people for giving him 1-star reviews for slander. You're not going to, these people who are giving you the 1-star reviews are hiding behind a dog emoji or a picture of a cactus. They probably live in the middle of nowhere, and they're not giving you any money, and you're never going to find them. One. So that I think is going to be a wash. For her specifically, the thing that really chaps my ass, which I don't know if that's like a saying that people know, but the thing that chaps my ass about this is you're saying that they preyed on you being an alcoholic and having these moments of weakness where you were a shitstorm on the show, where they tried to encourage that behavior. All right. I don't know about you, Leah. And I know we all battle with different things. And I don't want to take away from that journey or that struggle. However, I am a grown-ass adult, and I am the pilot of my own life. And if somebody tells me to dance, like be a performing seal and dance, go ahead and dance. I want to see you dance. Get drunk. Come on. Be a part of it. Get into it. I would be like, what do you think? I'm like 13? You think that I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do? And that's my attitude towards it. I don't have to do anything for you. And for her to claim that they were specifically scheduling her during times that she was supposed to be going to AA or things that The show is not meant to work around you. That's not what the case is. The show is filming for a limited time and they have to get all the content in that limited time. You get your call schedule, your call times, you get it at the like during the weekend on probably a Saturday, and then you know what Monday through Friday looks like. Sure, are there moments where they call you last minute? Yes, there are. But you know what it looks like. You have time to plan around that because that's a job. Like if you're working a 9 to 5 and your AA meeting is at 2 o'clock, McDonald's is not letting you go to your AA meeting. McDonald's, please give me a sponsorship over here because I'm shouting the hell out of you today. And I also really love your chicken nuggets, even though I heard that you guys put bad things in them, but that's neither here nor there. And I don't have a dog in this fight. Sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, I have a couple things to say about Leah. First of all, I mean, on Ultimate Girls Trip, let's be real. She was like, you guys are boring. You got to drink more. So if anybody's doing the encouraging of people to drink on camera, it's you, Leah. And then second of all, I mean, a lot of housewives came out in an article after her accusations, came to the surface, like Kyle, like Candy, like a lot of housewives who are sober and don't drink, and they've never been pressured to drink. Nobody's encouraging them to drink. Like, I think pretty much almost every sober housewife on Bravo came out and said they've never been pressured to do this. So why would they pressure Leah McSweeney? It's just, it's not adding up. The math
rebuttal is that they're not going to sacrifice the paycheck, so they're going to say whatever they think they're supposed to say. That's her rebuttal. But even Candy's not, well, she is affiliated. She has Candy in the gang still. Never mind.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Why lie? Why lie? I mean, we've never seen Kyle has been sober for a couple seasons now. We've never seen her, feel like get drunk because she was pressured to do that. It's just at the end of the day, I will say I do have a very, not a close relationship, but I do DM occasionally with a producer who did work on Real Housewives of New York. And they shared with me that in no way is this true, and that every person on Housewives or cast on Bravo has their own free will. They are never pressured to do anything. If they don't feel comfortable doing something, they don't have to do it. So that's really all I needed to hear, and I believe it.
I just want to say, too, to piggyback off of what you're saying, and I don't have to protect Bravo, guys. Bravo does not write my paychecks. They don't write Kim's paychecks. I don't care. But I do have to say, with my friends who I have not on here in front of everybody conversations, but actual intimate conversations as friends, like people who we just like, we talk some shit, you get some wine, cheese and crackers, and you're like, can you believe that, bitch? No, I know. Those kinds of conversations. When we get together and have those conversations, I have asked my friends who are on these shows, like, have you ever felt like that? And I think that there are different moments of pressure in order to move storylines along and in order to, for filming and kind of having a resolution to the conflict, if you will. But all of them have told me that they have never been pressured to drink. Is it there if you want it? And if you want it, will they keep bringing it to you? Yeah, it's not The Bachelor. It's not like a 2-drink maximum. They'll give it to you, but that's if you want it. And then at that point, you are 30, 40, 50 years old. That is a you decision. And that's how I feel about it. So yes, I don't think that Leah McSweeney is going to win this lawsuit. I think that NBC has way too much money. And I think that they will drag it out and it will continue on for the next 10, 20. It'll be longer than Bethany's divorce. Let's just say that.
Oh gosh, I hope not, Adam.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what you think about it. Like unless you have some real concrete proof, unless you're sitting on a golden egg over there of you have a photo of somebody doing something they're not supposed to do, and they're like the face of the company or an NBC exec, unless you're sitting on that and you say, this is what I got. So how much is it worth to you? If you don't have that,
right,
go back to, you're making a lot of money on OnlyFans. Just go back to putting Windex in between your toes, like squirt it a little bit with your little pinky toe. You make a lot of money and you're good.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, then there's no case.
That part.
I agree. Go back to OnlyFans. That seems like a solid place for Leah to land. I think that she should just stay over there.
And with that, I was going to say period dot, which leads me into the next part of our conversation. As you know, the Real Housewives of Dubai, Caroline Stanbury last night. Okay. Caroline Brooks, you got to give me a break here. And Kim, I got to give you the context on it. Caroline Brooks, when I met her at BravoCon, she was very straight up with me. And she's like, no, you ripped me. You ripped me on your show. And like, I want you to say what you mean. That's your business. Say what you mean. I'm not going to get offended. If I act like an ass, call it, you know? And I was like, well, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Some people get in their feelings, which you know, Kim, like people, you can act like they act like a buffoon on TV. The cameras are rolling. And it's like, what? And then you call it out and say, like, this is very manic behavior. And it's, how dare you? Wait a minute. Were you watching the same show? But then last night I'm watching Caroline, and, you know, like Caroline Brooks is seeing Caroline Stanbury, or the other night, sorry. She's seeing Caroline Stanbury walk in, and she's like, bitch, that bitch. And her friend's like, play it cool. She's like, I am playing it cool. I'm like, no, that's not playing it cool. Like, this is very forward, okay, with your delivery, Caroline Brooks. What are your thoughts right now when it comes to Dubai?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, just the ladies, perfect casting, the most beautiful cast, bringing the
I know.
drama, bringing the glitz, the glamour, the money. I love it. But as far as the Brooks and Stanbury feud, I am firmly on Team Stanbury. I mean, this is all about bringing up Talene's vagina. I mean, let's be real. Caroline Stanbury, she's a joker. She's a jokester. She's going to call you out. I feel like Talene is like over it, but Caroline Brooks gets 3 sheets to the wind at this party and decides to confront her about it. And Stanbury's just like, it's like she doesn't have time for this. It's like, I don't know.
It's
It's
also the British humor, you know? Like,
exactly, exactly. It's like if you know Caroline Stanbury, which I don't personally, but I feel like I do because I've watched her on TV for a very long time. That's exactly it, Adam. I mean, she's not like coming after you. It's like it was a joke.
she literally came out of the gate on Ladies of London saying, I always said that these should have been balls, not boobs. Like, that is Caroline Stanbury. But also, if you guys are not watching Food Stars, I don't know what network it's on, but I was going to say HGTV. It's definitely not. I don't know where my head's at right now, but I watch it on Hulu. And this season, it's about Lisa Vanderpump and Gordon Ramsay, and they're putting together different teams in order to make one of their businesses come to fruition. So it's like kind of like a game show, but if you watch them host it together, because they're both from the same area, right? Their banter, they have to stop each other because they're so inappropriate with what they say, and they have to cut each other off because it's like, no, this is kid friendly. And knowing Lisa for as long as we have, she, it's like some of the thing, it will knock you on your ass. You hear her and you're like, what did you just say? And she just smirks. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I just heard what you just said. And she's like, darling, Rose. And you're like, but you did say it, right? And for Caroline Stanbury, she is the exact same way. And I think that is, when you're on the opposing side of it, it's a hard pill to swallow, because especially when you deliver the insults with a British accent, it sounds so good and it lands and you're like, I don't want to like you, you know?
Yeah, and I did hear, I don't know if you heard, but I feel like there's something deeper going on between the Carolines too. There was stuff like going on off camera before they started filming and stuff. So I feel like maybe there is like something more to the story here as well. But I don't know. I can't help but always be Team Stanbury. I love her. I love her humor. I get it. I don't think she's, coming to attack you. So I think that Brooks, she needs to check herself and like, I don't know.
I
I
also
think
don't think you're going to have a productive conversation in an induced state. You know?
No, no, and Stanberry knows that. She's seeing it. She sees her and she knows that it's not going to happen right now. So, yeah, she chooses to kind of excuse herself and, they'll deal with it next week.
Right. Right. They'll deal with it next week. But seeing the changing dynamics, seeing Lisa Milan and Chanel go out with Caroline, I like that. I like that the dynamics are changing, that we have new sort of, even like this season on Jersey, I'm interested to see Jackie Goldschneider and Jen Fessler with Teresa and Jennifer Aiden try to forge a new friendship with Melissa. I like the changing dynamics, because if not, then I feel like we have team A, team B. It's stale. It's the same story, just a different season. So I like the movement of it. And I think sometimes when you're filming a TV show and you're in it and you start seeing certain dynamics were changing, and last season you guys were like this, but now there's new people coming into play and things are shifting a little, I think it's very easy to get in your feelings and be like, wait a minute. Because one, it gives you a built-in storyline. So now you have something to film. And two, your feelings really are hurt. You're like, you're supposed to be my girl. What happened? And Caroline's like, darling, we're filming a TV show. Like, what are you doing? But one thing that Caroline Brooks is probably, it's not going to land well, because I know them very well. I love them. Caroline and Sergio, with the little cryptic posts about husbands and stuff. And Sergio, Caroline is a beast in the best way possible, in the sense that, like, that woman is a lioness and a protector. And so is Brooks. Stanberry and Brooks are both this way, but she is definitely going to protect her husband. So if you're trying to make something good, that ain't it. It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see like how because I didn't really think that Sergio really inserted himself too much in that fight. He was more like, what's going on out there? Like, do I need to get involved or whatever? So maybe he does get more involved. I mean, of course, we know he's at Caroline Stanberry. He's attached to her hip. He will do anything for her, with her.
That man loves his wife.
Yeah, I mean, as he should. But yeah, I think that Caroline Brooks needs to be careful calling out Sergio on Twitter, because she's not going to let that slide. I am very excited to see Caroline Stanberry come on Watch What Happens Live. I assume she'll be coming on in the next couple weeks, and I need her to address that. So I'm here for that feud, and I'm also here for Ian and Caroline Stanberry becoming friends. But we do know that Lisa Milan kind of drifts away a little bit throughout the season. So I'm invested. I'm here to watch this all play out.
Yeah. I'm going to address a few things really quick. Donna Lynn, I like the Dubai version of the Real Housewives, but it felt like it was so long between seasons, I lost interest. I agreed with that. I think I kept interest because of the personal connection, but I do agree where it's like really hard to follow a story and then have such a big gap in between, especially when we're just getting to know these people. It's like it should have been closer in the timeline in order to preserve the interest. So I do agree with that.
I agree, but give it a chance, Donna. Jump back in. Give it a chance. It's almost like when you jump back in, like no time has gone past, and you reconnect with the women. It's just kind of like a breath of fresh air with Jersey right now being the only other franchise. Dubai is like the lift that we needed. So give it a chance. Jump back in. That's all I got to say.
I agree. Adam, I love you, but you made it very clear you don't like Billie. You're on Team Tom. No, I made it clear that I had several interactions because I worked for Lisa at Sir and Tom, and I was around Billie. And Billie was never kind to me and a lot of the people who worked at these places. Billie addressed this by calling me a lingering server that needed to get her a Diet Coke. Okay. That's fine. But she also said that she was in a place of her life where she was not happy. She was drinking a lot more and she was financially not in the best position. So she already addressed that. Now I can understand that and know that you were not a great place. And I talk that up to, I don't think that's who you are as a person. I think that you were not in the best place in that moment that I had those interactions with you. I am not team anyone. Very well said, Adam. Thank you.
Well said. Well said.
Also, Champagne Nikki, no, Sergio needs to stay out of it. Stanberry is more capable of handling it. I wanted to address that one really quick. I think that Sergio, yes, you do have to understand that this is the Real Housewives. 1,000,000%. I get that. However, I think that he has to deal with the residual effect of his wife filming in these moments that are highly stressful. They're trying to figure out what the stories are. There is a lot more than what we're seeing, right? Because this is a very condensed, edited version. And he has to go home and deal with the aftermath of that. So I think what in that moment when you're saying like, "Oh, we can't go down this again," I think that that was probably not the best time for him and them together while filming. And he probably is trying to figure out a way for her to still be on the show and not have to go through that again. But that's a good husband. He's a problem solver. He's like, at least I think that he's trying and that's what he wants. But yes, can we all be a little suffocating when we love somebody? Absolutely, we can. Hey guys, thank you for the Up and Out of memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, I do want to say too, Jason will be back. It's sometime this month. It's his birthday and everything. We're going to do a house tour, but also so you guys can see Jason again. I know so many people have asked me about him. That's going to be our members only. It's coming. I'm going to keep you posted on the community tab. My mother-in-law just got in town last night and she is literally saving me. I was drowning with my head going underwater and now I feel like a phoenix, and I'm about to rise. Kim, I'm done. Sorry.
No, please. I love it. We all want to like kind of see. I'm chomping at the bit for this house tour. I want to see it.
Thanks, Kim. Out of all of that, that's what you got?
Yes.
Okay. Well, with that, guys, if you don't know, I'm going to go ahead because Kim also is a busy woman. She's running one of the biggest Bravo fan accounts on Instagram, and I'm going to show it to you guys. That way you can follow her, and she's going to tell you exactly where you can follow her. Then after that, I'm going to hit YouTube. So as you say it, Kim, I'm going to bring it up. That way everybody can check you out.
Okay, awesome. Yes, of course. Follow me on Instagram if you aren't already at Bravo Breaking News. Also, head over to my YouTube and subscribe. Check out my Something About Her review if you haven't. We're also recapping Summer House. I will be recapping the Summer House Part 2 reunion later today. So make sure you tune into that. I have a lot of thoughts on Carl and Lindsay. So that will be up later today. And also, if you need a gift for the Bravo lover in your life, head over to Etsy and search Bravo Breaking News. You can also go to bravobreakingnews.etsy.com. We have a ton of merch that is just great to, gift or get for yourself.
Hey, and then also, guys, definitely go check out everything of Kim's. Go support because she is constantly working. But if you guys weren't here at the very beginning, we are throwing a big birthday bash with two of my favorite Bravo celebrities. Actually, there's probably going to be like 3 or 4 of my favorite Bravo celebrities, but 2 that I'm actually hosting it with. It's July 6th. So that Saturday, July 6th, downtown Charleston on King Street. It's called Lamar's. If you guys are familiar with Southern Charm, Leva, it is her and her husband's restaurant. Her husband's name is Lamar, named after him. It's a great spot, but listen, come do the step and repeat, have drinks, grab some bottles. Let's have some champagne and do the birthday the right way, where it's going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be filled, but it's going to be more of like a calm, let's just play, have a good time. Nothing serious. I'm not putting on a show. I'm not a performing seal. Okay. We're just going to have fun. That's all I want. I just want to have fun. So, and Kim, we're going to miss you, but that means that next year we get to steal you for that one.
I'll be there in spirit, Adam. I will be following along on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you to everyone in the live chat. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everyone for gifting the memberships. That's coming soon. Thank you to our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, check out Up and Adam, channel 1 and 2. I have more content coming your way. And definitely do not sleep on Kim from Bravo Breaking News. Check out her Instagram and YouTube. And like she said, she has a live coming your way. We will see you. Happy Friday. Stay safe this weekend and see you soon. Bye.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.